cosplay, I do YouTube, I am an artist, I mostly am an animator, I work in animation, and I love dorky stuff with all of the spits and sprinkles on top. Not sure what to say.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I go by Missyeru online. I make costumes for the film industry and I cosplay pretty obsessively. Like all of my time and money goes into cosplay. It's pretty awesome.
So how did you both get into cosplay? I know you work in the film industry, so you kind of got into costume making from there, didn't you?
Kind of. I reverse. I did cosplay since I was 14, and then I've been sewing ever since, and every cosplay was a building block into my portfolio, and then I went into fashion college, and I always wanted to work in the film industry, but with cosplay being my hobby, I decided to like, hey, let's do my favorite characters that are way too complicated than my skill level, so I can build my portfolio, and then hopefully impress somebody to hire me, and that's kind of how it went, plus college.
I'm a little bit of a similar story. I've just always loved animation and cartoons, like from the day I was born. It's all I've watched. I very rarely watch shows with real people in them. And I was very into making animated music videos, like AMVs, for different shows, mostly Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is
amazing.
Yeah. To this day, my favorite show. And actually, like when I first saw that show, I was like, I want to make this. Like, I want to be a part of the team who makes this show. Now I work at Nickelodeon, so I've succeeded. 12-year-old me would be so excited. So just discovering fandom from that, I saw what cosplay was and what different fans were doing to show their appreciation. And I did a really awful costume of Princess Yue, and was my very, very first costume. And then from there, I've actually improved it, so I love that costume now. And so I basically got into it from wanting to show more appreciation for the things that I love.
I have a favorite, like my favorite costume I ever made ever would be Vi from League of Legends, just because I didn't think I could make it, and I was super overwhelmed, and I made it in a very short time span. Like I kind of was like here and there working on it, and I made like the fingers move, the pressure gauges move, the back gauge move, it lights up, and I was like, I still look at photos sometimes and there's a really cool video that captures all the movement, and I'm like, holy shit, I was a part, that was me, I made everything, like, but my favorite to wear is I did Serena from Pokemon with a group called 4-H Tasty, and the leader of that, Brett, makes puppets, and it was really amazing that we had like life-size puppet Pikachus, or well, I had a Pichu, like puppet Pokemon, and we would just walk around, and the kids and people would interact with the Pokemon and kind of forget you were there, and it was just so amazing to see people, like, their eyes light up, and they're like, you just brought my favorite Pokemon to life, and like, they'll say, like, oh, I like your costume, that's really great, look at the puppet, and like, Pichu, love me, and it's cool, because it is, like, it's a animatronic kind of puppet, and they, like, move and interact, and they hop around, and it's just, like, the funnest thing in the entire world to wear. You're just like, yay, I'm making dreams come true wearing this costume. And it's really comfortable. You get to wear flat shoes.
Okay, I'm very jealous of that one. I want a Pokemon.
Like, would that be the character you'd be most invested in then, or is there one that's actually...
That's like, well, Pokemon is like, I grew up with Pokemon. It
was
one of the games that has literally grown up with me. But I don't know, they're just so lovable and cute, and it's just a really fun costume. However, it's more fun with the 4-H Tasty group, because they're a group of 10 cosplayers, and so they have a bunch of the Pokemon, and I'm just a friend who, they're like, we'll make you a Pichu, because we know your love for Pokemon.
On a leash?
Yeah, well, it's like on a thing, it's like a Pokeball, it's really great. The one that I'm super emotionally attached to is like my Kagome. It was my very first costume. It's just because that was like the gateway, and my 10-year anniversary of cosplay, I remade her to my skill set 10 years later, which was really cool. But like my dad helped me make the bow, and it's real wood, and so I still use that prop, and it was just like, I don't know, I'm very like, I'll like cry or something, I'm gonna keep talking about it. But yeah, that's probably that one. And then I helped make a costume for a person, and then I'll actually cry if I tell you about that story. So.
They're good tears.
They're good tears, but it's like such like a story.
It's a good thing to have, at least you're passionate about it. You get to do something that you love, so we're jealous of you with that. And you have a Pichu.
Well, he stays with the other Pokemon. I don't get to keep him full time. We're not allowed to have Pokemon or dogs at my apartment.
What a bummer.
Yeah, I'm Winter Belle from like Beauty and the Beast. There's a song called Something Sweet, and it's the song where her and Beast realize that they're kind of falling in love with each other. It's my favorite Disney song ever. And like when Courtney was like, "Oh, I'm wearing Winter Bell," I was like, "It's my opportunity. My time has come."
We're two winter bells.
And yeah, so we're like, "Yay, winter bells and warm costumes," and it's really warm. It's really great. Sometimes costumes are really cold. Like you're like, "Whoa."
I take it you're massive Disney fans then. Wonder why.
What's Disney?
Love Disney. Love Disney. Sorry, Nickelodeon, but I really love Disney.
You can have both.
I can.
What's your favorite Disney film?
Well, my favorite Disney movie of all time, like not just princesses, is Meet the Robinsons, which is like a movie that like not a lot of people have seen. Amazing film, and like whenever someone said they haven't seen it, I'm like, no, you need to give it a chance. It is a great movie. And then my favorite princess movie, Mulan and Entangled, yeah, and my favorite songs are definitely the I See the Light from Tangled, because I'm a giant sap. I love that scene. I just want to be part of that scene.
It's on your purse.
It is on my purse. That scene's on my purse. I have a sweatshirt with that scene on it. It's on my wallet. I own everything with that scene on it.
It's the best when she wears the sweatshirt and the purse, and the scene is the same, and you're like, wow,
It's like, what, Courtney? You like Tangled?
I'm gonna find leggings that match that and buy them for you.
We were the talk about Disney princesses. Like, well, that was one of the topics. Like, are they actually seen as role models for girls? Like, I would be of the sect that I completely agree that they are.
Especially
like the likes of Belle, intelligent.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up on Disney,
Yeah.
and like one of my really good friends who I work in the film industry with, she grew up, her parents were against Disney, so she never saw a Disney movie until we met. And I was like, "You've never seen one?" That's like blasphemy in my books, and I actually can't trust you if you don't like Disney. I mean, if you've never seen it, it's like, okay, you lived under a rock. But if you don't like Disney, then I have like
no respect for you.
I just like have a really hard time. Like we can't be really good friends then, because my life kind of revolves around like the happiness of Disney. And I think there are a lot of really good messages in the Disney movies. And I think the people who are being naysayers and jerks about it are kind of like, you're killing the magic and you're not seeing it through a child's eyes, because children don't see like the adult humor that sometimes Disney throws in there, whereas they see like. For Belle, for example, because she is my favorite princess, and that is my favorite movie. I want to do all of her dresses, and she's just amazing. But like for her example, like she was so brave, and she took her dad's spot from it, and then she like learned to love this guy, even though he is apparently like his appearance is like a little it's a little jarring. It's a little scary, and she like just kind of was like, all right, I'm gonna deal, and I'm just gonna keep going and take each day as it is, and then found the good in the people, and it's like she was like the outcast, and she was into reading, and it really helped her, and I'm all like pro that, and it also in that movie particularly teaches, I think, girls to like not always go for the handsome guy who's a jerk to you.
Sorry, interesting enough, but I was watching something that pointed out that Gaston's not really a villain in that film. Because think about it, if you lived in that area and the beast was nearby,
you would side with Gaston. I think that's like an interesting thing. But in the movie, you see a different side to him, so you know he's the villain. Right. But like to the town, you totally understand why he's the hero, because everyone loves him. This town girl that everyone knows of has been kidnapped by this guy. You would totally think Gaston was doing the right thing.
But in the movie we see him like, we're gonna throw her dad in jail to make her fall in love with me so I can marry her because she's hot. Good job, Gaston. And I actually really like how they show like that side of people, because sometimes some other animations kind of like everything's happy and friendly and awesome, whereas it's like he's kind of a douchebag, and but he's kind of a charming douchebag. Like he's a favorite villain for that reason, that you're like, wow, you're an asshole and I like you.
He is a good villain compared to some other villains, I think, because there's other ones you think, how did no one see this? Like Scar and Jafar, great villains, but it's like, how did you not realize they were evil?
How did you not know, Simba? I mean, come on.
Like Simba, like his fur is different.
He's voiced by a British villain.
I was going to say, a lot of them are British.
Like Jafar, like really, like you didn't think this guy was like trying to steal. Come on, man. Like we could go on, I think, for a long time talking about like the dynamics of different Disney movies, because there is so many theories.
Even the talk about other points about Cinderella, that anyone else in that situation would be suicidal and You know,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
the three
like-
people who just abuse
Like
you all the time.
Yeah, she has like a fabulous outlook on life. Like I love Cinderella. She's one of my favorites and was like growing up until like the more modern movies came out. And Cinderella was always one of my favorites. But because she was always had such like a positive outlook on life, even though her life sucked. Like her life was horrible. She was abused and mistreated, and she just always found like the light in things. And even but people will point out, she's like, oh, she just went off and married this guy. That's all she is. And I'm like, no.
If you are a positive person, good things happen to you. Is that
like? Yeah, it doesn't say it's like you need a man in order to be happy. I'm like, no, she got her happy ending, and that's like that was just part of it. Like,
and like not everyone has to have a man or a significant other for a happy ending, but like for an 8-year-old, and you're like, oh, when in theory your parents are married or so. But then a lot of like Disney movies now, like their parents all die, so it's like whatever. I don't know. That's really what I'm getting at. And then we're like really fortunate. We live in Southern California, so we're really close to Disneyland. It's actually really cool when like if you can go to the other Disneys and whatnot, but you really feel Walt's presence in Disneyland, and they have like his bench where he thought of the whole Disney franchise there, and it's really cool. Like right now, I can't say anything other than I'm working for ABC/Disney right now on a show, and so we're working on the Disney backlot, and even there, everyone's as friendly as they are at the parks, where they like whatever like section of Disney you're going to, whether it's the parks or whether it's a studio or whether it's a store, they're always like, hi, how are you? Welcome. And like if you have a birthday, anything, they'll be happy birthday, princess. And it's just kind of like you're a really feel good company. Like you guys are day makers is what you are. And like the parks especially are so cool because like there's a whole museum section where it's like the beginnings of Walt Disney and his dream, and like they kept the bench where he thought about the parks. They still have that, and like this is where Disney thought of this idea, and it's really awesome and totally like probably my favorite company, I would say.
Anyway,
So,
yeah.
it's easy to
Anyway, we
avoid
rambled about Disney for a while.
We'll go to Nickelodeon quickly since you work for them. I just want to know one thing. Avatar Last Airbender, you mentioned you liked it. What was your favorite episode?
Okay.
Tough call.
My favorite episode overall is Ember Island Players. Well, because it's like all the episodes in one, and they're just making fun of themselves, which I'm great. I kind of hope they do it for Korra. Unfortunately, Korra is one of the shows that even other Nickelodeon employees don't even get to like sneak in and see it. They're all blocked off, and so is our show actually. But that Ember Island Players is my like favorite episode. But also, I majorly wanted Zuko and Katara to get together in the show. Majorly.
No.
I wanted them to get together so badly, and so the Crossroads of Destiny, which is the season 2 finale, when they have their like cave scene.
I thought they were going to get together.
Yeah, I was like, yes, right? I'm like watching this and I'm like, is it happening? I thought this was like a crack ship, and I thought I had it, but nope. But it's still one of my favorite episodes. It's so good.
That's for me. It's Tales of Ba Sing Se.
Tales of Ba Sing Se. Oh, it's not like it's one before Lake Laogai, but it's where Jet and Zuko like first team up together, and when he ends up being kidnapped and going to Lake Laogai. But that's also one of my favorite episodes. It's so good.
From the end of season 1 onwards, there's not even one bad episode.
Brilliant.
Oh yeah, season 2 and 3 are like amazing. Season 1 they were finding they're finding their feet, and especially with that being such a new show, like a new style of show to American television, and I'm sure they were trying to figure stuff out. And then season 2 and 3 they got their groove.
We'll bring it back to cosplay for the end of it. So, any tips for any new cosplayers out there, or anything what not to do maybe?
You're looking to hint yourself here.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you suck. Okay.
I would say like just make sure you do your research. First off, pick a character you love, because you're gonna spend a lot of time looking at pictures of that character and like being like fussing over the fabrics and everything, and of course you're gonna put more like love and labor into something that you care passionately about. So if you pick a character you like, then you're gonna want to do your best at it. Yeah. / the internet and google.com is your favorite resource ever, because you can literally now, since cosplay is so popular, be like, how to style a Tinkerbell wig, and there'll be like tutorials, and you can be like, how to make a League of Legends Jace hammer, and there will be tutorials, and it's like,
Yeah.
And if there's like not your specific item because it's a brand new character, you can look at like, that shape is similar to this character's shape. Let's look up a tutorial for that character, which is really helpful for I think a lot of new cosplayers
Yeah.
coming up.
It's a really great time to start cosplaying, actually. I mean, there's a lot of, like, drama in the community, but there always has been. Just social media is more prominent now, so that's why everyone, it's more in the light. So it's a little scary and intimidating in that aspect, but it's a great time to start cosplaying because there are so many resources now. 10 years ago, there wasn't access to material like Warbler. You couldn't find wigs easily. All the wigs weren't very good, or
They wouldn't fit our big heads.
Or they wouldn't fit our Mondo heads.
We'd order from, I don't know about you, but I used to order from like Chinese sites, and like it'd arrive, and I'd be like, this does not fit my head.
I'm like, how does this fit on
And I was like, this is a child's wig. And I was like, oh, I just have a really abnormally massive head.
Yeah.
I mean, now there's like so many websites. There's like Arta.com or Arta Wigs and
Yeah.
Epic Cosplay, and
That specifically make wigs for large-headed people.
and for cosplayers.
Yeah, and
so
for
like
cosplayers.
character specific. So
Yeah.
if there's like a really like panty and stocking, like stocking had a really complicated wig, and instead of like back in the day, you'd have to like find a white wig and like dye it with ink or something crazy like that. Well, good luck finding a white wig.
Yeah.
But then now they're like, oh, well, this is a popular character. We're just gonna make this exact wig. Bam! So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Well, then just to wrap up, anything you want to say to your fans out there?
Thanks for being us.
well, yeah. If you guys support cosplay and you like following cosplayers, it's really greatly appreciated. I mean, cosplayers wouldn't be anything special if it weren't for people who support them. So
Or other cosplayers.
yes, indeed. So thank you for being part of the support system.
Yay.
You're like a heart. Like you're in shakes. No, this is
Are you
a weaving.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna hurt still.
We'll go for hard
Friendship.
Yeah, this is like a weave of friendship, so that's what that means. So thank you for being a part of the woven weft of
The
friend.
Hardly the friendship.
Yeah, thank you for being part of that wonderful the support system that makes all of this happen. That makes all of these cons happen. That
Seriously though, thank you. Every time someone comes up and they're like, oh my gosh, your costumes inspired me, it makes like me want to cry. And it's just like, we're fans and you guys are fans and everyone else is fans of like animes and games. And it's so like yay, warm and fuzzy feelings, new friends joining your community, come join us and
Yes.
just be awesome. So yay, thanks guys.